Hello everybody, my name is Timothy McGowan and we're playing World of Warcraft. Welcome back, this is video number 2 of a Let's Play. And I'm going to see about getting us to level 15 or so before this episode ends. So stick with me and let's see what we can do. If you watched video 1, video 1? I was about to say lesson 1, which is why I'm pausing. I'm not a teacher or anything. I'm just I'm a programmer actually, and a writer, but not anything anyone would have heard of. Yeah. But yeah, I've been playing WoW on and off for years and years. And I was thinking of maybe doing Classic, but I played a little bit of Classic before I decided and remembered why people love Classic, but also why I did not like Classic. If they do that Burning Crusade thing though, where they add, they push it to the next expansion, I will definitely need to jump on a character and get leveling, because Burning Crusade is when I started. Like the week 1 of when Burning Crusade came out, and it's nostalgia. It's good. I tried to level, I think, as a druid and a mage on the alliance side. And I finally, it's a funny story. There was a magazine article in some game, maybe the Game Informer, I think, that said how to get from 1 to 70 on a Blood Elf rogue. And I'd been alliance before then because all my college friends and roommates are alliance, but this guide was specifically for Blood Elf rogues, and so I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do Horde. And man, I've never turned back. I love the Horde and the whole attitude of it. But yeah, no, I followed the it said, I think it was, the pitch was like, do it in 7 days. It took me probably like a month, and I played pretty hardcore, but I was not very good. I thought I was great. Like I've clocked maybe 200 days on my rogue, but I was never a good rogue. If I'm being completely honest, I never kept up with my lock picking for one. So like if you thought that I was going to lock pick anything for you or be like a utility rogue in any sense of the word, I was not. I was a horrible rogue. In fact, it's so bad that I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, but I am pretty sure that I didn't even have my poisons leveled up all the way in a majority of them. I think I had like 1 poison that I kept up because I put it on my weapons, but yeah, I was a bad rogue. I remember doing a Karazhan run, and I had no add-ons. I had no idea how much damage I was doing, but from what I was told, I was doing really shitty damage. Oh, Jesus. But I did it. I got to max level, finally. And that's where I, discovered the end game and started figuring out what games were really about, because before that, it was just this, like, mysterious, weird experience. But, yeah. Oh, talking about my rogue makes me want to play a rogue. Sneaky. But, no, I'm a support character. And everything I play now, I like to be the person that is either healing or tanking. I was tempted to do a tank, but decided against it because I think Priest was probably my 2nd character to max level. No, wait, my Warrior was. So maybe my 3rd. I don't know, I've just been having a hankering to play a Priest. I do a lot of brainstorming for new story ideas and stuff, and I've been playing a lot with the idea of Goss, and holy moly, that water's not deep. Well, there we go, first death, episode 2. There we go, let's be glad we weren't playing hardcore mode or something, where I would delete the character if I died, because that would have stunk. Although it did get me faster back to my quest givers. Let's say I did that on purpose. Yeah. I was actually just looking to get here faster, guys. That was totally planned. Where is this person? There it is. Yeah, so no, I've been brainstorming out different stories and stuff, and I love the idea of the battle between good and evil. I like to take it in my mind, taking it a little further. For example, a story idea that I had about writing about a very cliche good versus evil, where gods give power to those that are good, so you have like priests and paladins, and the demons give power to the warlocks and death knight type people, and then you have the arcane and nature forces bestowing their powers to each side. Everything's kind of in balance. But the story, trying to turn the trope and ideas on its head, the story would be about, it would start off where you're getting, a very cliche, maybe some kind of lich against some mighty paladin, and then in steps this other person, creature, knight, who's powered by the old gods, or not even gods, right? Just the old one, maybe, something like that. Something where they're not, they're not evil, but they're not good. They just want to undo what they feel is like this menace that has been created in their world, and so they've empowered this person who goes through and he negates all the connections that these people have with their gods, just rendering them powerless, basically, turning the world into what our world is like, science-based, where you can't wave your fingers and say, "Hey God, give me some help here, I need to do this." I thought it'd be cool to like explore that idea, right? Like, if you did that, how would that work, right? Because obviously you'd still have armies, but if you had these powerful men and women who could hold armies on their back, basically, like, right, one or two of them on a battlefield, and it could change everything. What happens when you then take that power away? I mean, if you explore that idea before you even get to the part where you take the power away, if you have an army, you don't need to raise a huge army. You just need a group of really powerful guys, right? You don't have to raise an army when you know that you can level 1,000 men by yourself. It would change how warfare would work. I think, at least that's the thought process I was following. So you think like you wouldn't really have big armies, you wouldn't have lots of trained people, you'd have those select people that are working as like champions or mercenaries for the different city-states or whatever they control, which is really interesting, because what happens, freezing again. So what happens when you then take that power away, and then the only way they have to fight this thing that's doing this, taking away their power and killing and whatever this other thing would do. I haven't explored that much. But what now happens when you have these groups of highly skilled warriors who relied on this great power to do everything that they do, and so there's no big armies or nothing like that, and all of a sudden their powers don't work? It's what happens, right? Then this whole class of whatever people there are that maybe they've worshipped as like champions and given special rights, now they're nothing. They're just old guy who's really strong. Okay, sorry about that. It was freezing. I closed a few things out. I think it has to do, I'm using Streamlabs to actually do the recording instead of going live. I think I need to switch to the normal OBS, which I'll do for the next episode, for sure. I just gotta find my train of thought again. I think I was talking about the implications to that kind of story idea. I'm not sure if it's been explored before. If it has, someone say something in the comments, because that would be interesting to know. Even if it was explored in a game, right? I mean, I know that WoW plays with the idea of these titans and the gods and the old gods, and I'm not 100% up on the lore, but I know that it has to do with something like that. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I think about and the things I try to explore. And then you can,
our enemies will fall.
From that point, you can kind of think about what the characters would be like. I mean, what would the person be like that is constantly being told basically how wonderful he is?
Your gold is welcome here.
Because, like, you know, you think on the good side, right? You're like, oh, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread and everyone loves you. And then on the bad guy side, it's more of a, like, oh my gosh, like, we all fear you and no one's gonna talk back to you. And I have a mount and I've been using it this entire time. So then what happens when that shifts, right? So what they're, like, the undead or, you know, whatever they are. What am I turning in? Yeah, you gotta think, like, how would people react once they find out that these people who have held themselves above everybody, or even if they haven't themselves held themselves above, imagine that, you know, they are treated,
Time is of the
I'm
essence.
sure, with some kind of respect, if not something. Because in my mind, the, you know, the
Hold
powers
your
that
head
gods
high.
and demons would give them would be pretty fantastic. So then to take that away and to make them the same as any other citizen, you know, maybe it would turn into a story where those people will try to hide the fact that they have lost their power, fearing that perhaps the normal populace will. Oh, okay, I know what's happening. I'm gonna go ahead and pause. I'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, so I know what was happening. I didn't realize the location that the Streamlabs OBS, the recording software that I'm using, it was putting all of its files in my C drive, which for me is a problem because my C drive is barely big enough just to hold my Windows files and it's a solid state. I have another drive where I put everything else, and I assumed that's where it was. I assumed wrongly. So I switched that over, moved some files. So now we will not have that weird issue. Because what was happening, I'm 99% sure, was that I was getting closer and closer and closer to having the full disk, and so my computer was kind of freaking out because the disk space was being filled, and yeah, I don't know. I'm a programmer, I'm not a computer or hardware guy, but makes sense to me, so let's hope that doesn't happen again. Keep our 96 frames per second on Ultra, which is probably not saying much nowadays. That's the only one's going to do that, but I'm not any on a computer. I'm using a GTX 970 from like years ago, so I am happy as rain that it's working as well as it is. And now that I think about it, when I was first playing, I got a computer, a laptop, a really janky one back in 2005 for graduating high school, and I played almost all of my years of World of Warcraft on that computer, and so towards the end, it was getting pretty bad, right? Like I would have to be on the lowest settings, and so raids weren't really exciting for me. I mean, doing them was great and fun, right? But you don't get to see all the flashy, cool stuff, because it basically turns all of that off. I think I can just go in here and go mad. Yeah. Although, I'm pretty sure if I'm at 100 now and I'm on Ultra, I'm in like a larger raid. Everyone's throwing out their spells, so I'm probably going to start lagging a little. Because I definitely don't have like an uber computer by any means. So, what are you going to do? Who knows? Okay, what do I got left? Arcane cores, which are from these guys. Which it looks like somebody killed. Somebody did not see. You're invisible! Alright guys, I don't need to kill you. I will ignore you! My shield is impenetrable! Let's see, where was I? Yeah, the story idea that I had before. Well, not story idea really, but kind of like an interesting situation idea that could be developed into the start of a premise of a story. Yeah. I think it could be an interesting spin on kind of an elite society that is created after the fall of magic, and maybe it's hidden, and as the years go by, people are wondering more and more why they don't see any of the miracles they saw before, and start sowing doubt while the different factions on both sides try to retain the balance. Yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah. Definitely. That'd be more of a traditional fantasy kind of thing. Not so much another kind of fantasy. Hey, there's the mage stealing all the course. I don't know if you guys, anyone here has heard of like lit RPG, which is basically just like literature based around the idea of video game elements added into it. Which I've written a book in. A highly not so successful book. But I thought it was great. People, yeah. It's funny. So when you read a book, obviously you don't want to read about a wimp, right? You need to find a balance between a character that you want to put your teeth into, because they're like, oh, they're cool, or at least very interesting or something. My characters seem to struggle with, I want them to be, overpowered and awesome, but then I think, oh, well, I need to make sure they, down to earth, they're real, how would the person really react in situations, if XXX has happened, and for some reason it usually ends up with me, did I get that? Nice. It usually ends up with me writing characters that are having some kind of self-doubt, and or I don't know. Yeah, I've been told that my characters, some of my characters, or rather some people have said that some of my characters are cowards or pushovers.
The eternal sun guides
Which I don't know. I guess it's hard to be level 10. It's hard to look at your own work and think, if it's good or bad. I had beta readers, I had people read it, and I didn't do that for any of them. But I think the idea that they were going off was you have a character that's put in a situation where if they fight, they're going to die, right? It makes sense. Characters can't just go through anything and be expected to come out. So obviously the character makes the decision that he or she has to run away. It's the smartest thing to do. And, they value their own life over the lives of people they don't know that well. It makes sense to me, but then you put that in a character and then it seems like they're running away or they're cowards. I don't know. You can't please everybody. Not that I'm even trying. I'm just happy that people have read the book. My other character for my other book is a person that's dealing with severe social anxiety, but only in the realm, or I should say outside realm of the things that he feels hyper-productive or good at. And so you get a situation where he is kind of, he's a programmer in my story, but he gets put into a fantasy world, the one place where if he went, he's not really useful, and so he suffers from extreme social anxiety, and he feels like everyone's out to get him. But as he grows and whatever, he comes to his own. But a lot of people don't even get that far because they're like, oh, this guy, he's afraid of his own shadow. What are we doing? Like, hello, what are you gonna do? You're dark alley and someone's approaching you. You gonna go all Macho Man? I mean, I'm sure we all like to think that, but let's be realistic, What would you really do? And that's the questions I try to think about. I have never been put into a super crazy life or death situation where I would have to make that decision. I don't know. Yeah, it's good though. I like stories. I like thinking about the what ifs. And I'm not talking about with Warcraft at all right now. So for those that are still with me, I hope you're enjoying my ramblings. If you are, maybe you might like one of my books. Go check it out. Link in the comments. Probably, but search my name, you will find it. I don't think there's that many Timid McGowans that are out writing books and using their name on a YouTube channel. No matter how small it might be. But, yeah, that was great. Hopefully we can get into some more interesting stuff. You know what? I am level 10. I can choose a specialty, which it looks like it threw me automatically into disc. Which, right now, might actually be better because of penance. I don't see anything here that's going to be very useful right now. Holy Fire would be nice, but I'm pretty sure... Yeah, penance is OP right now. Can you run while doing penance still? Yeah, see, that's over. We're going to stay disc for a while. Maybe as I get higher level, I'll go to Shadow. But like I said, I love being able to heal. And so, if you like a series where you watch the healer, which may be super epically boring, stick around. We're gonna heal lots of stuff.
I'm out of range.
No, let me hit him
need to
first.
target
Oh,
something
this guy.
first.
Should I group up with
It's
him?
too far away. I
No.
don't have a target.
This mage just mopping the floor. Should I challenge him to a duel? Oh, I killed that guy. Do you want to duel, sir? Whoa! Good old duels. Let me heal this guy up. I battered his health down to nothing. There you are. Gotta do stuff like that, you know? Gotta have some fun with the dueling. I remember when I was leveling as a rogue, way long time ago, in a land far, far away. No, just kidding. It was California. Was it? I don't know. Maybe it was Iowa.
I need to get close.
Yeah, no, I was leveling. Let me get not distracted here for a second. And I ended up grouping up with this other rogue. And we would duel each other like every 2 levels. And part of my inflated sense of importance is every time we dueled, I won. Only later, after we hit like max level, did I find out she was playing with a laptop and not using a mouse. She was using a trackpad, which, if anyone's tried to do PvP with a trackpad on a melee character, where you're like dodging in and out around each other and having to pan around, I can't even imagine. Like, ugh, that would be so annoying. But yeah, no. It made the, because we had a lot of duels, and they were really close a lot of the time. And I'm sitting here with like a full-on mouse and keyboard. Which I realized, after, I was like, wow, I really suck. Here I am thinking I'm great, and I'm losing. Well, I'm not losing because I didn't lose. But having close calls. Close calls with somebody who is using a mouse pad or a track, mouse track. You know what I'm talking about, the little thing on the laptop. Oh no! Being attacked. What am I gonna do? Ignore them, that's what. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna turn this in. And we definitely did not get to level 15, but this will be the end of this video.
Yes. Stay the
Boom,
course.
boom, level 12. Very nice. If you guys are here and you're still watching, why don't you hit that like button? Subscribe, you know, do all that stuff. I'm sure you guys know the drill. But yeah, I'm Timothy McGowan and I am out of here.